It's very unexplainable, the feeling that I felt, you know, just to see my grandson each and every day with his eye closed. Can't walk well because his balance was off because he couldn't see out of both eyes. You know, just to see that every single day was a very, very emotional roller coaster. The fact that this innocent baby has to go through this innocent baby crying at night, and I have to rock him, give him Tylenol, try to calm him down. You know, it was very, very hard, and it still is to this day to just think about. Once I get to the hospital, I was hysterical. His eye was very, very swollen. I was in tears, I was angry, I was upset. So I went right up to my daughter, Lamadriana, and I got the baby from her, and I looked her in the eyes and said, "What happened to him? Where was he?" And she went on and stated, you know, "Mom, I don't know." When she said, "Mom, I don't know," I'm like, you know, you are responsible. Please give me some answers. Give me some answers. You know, what happened? That's all I could keep saying. What happened to this baby? Where was he at? What time? The places? I was just asking all kind of questions to try to get answers. Right now, at this point, my grandson is with me. She's in the process of working to prove her innocence, to get her son back. The detectives and everybody, you know, pretty much questioning my daughter, like, did you know what happened? Where did this happen at? You know what's happened. It made us feel like my daughter, the fingers was pointing at my daughter because they was very, very hard on her. I wasn't in the room when they interviewed her, but my daughter was just come out of the room emotional. You know, "Mom, they making me feel like, you know, I did this. Let's call Steve Wilkos right now. Somebody got to help me, you know, because I didn't do it."
First of all, let me say, that's one of the worst injuries I've ever seen on a baby. When you first see that, and this is a 13-month-old boy, I gotta imagine if somebody would have hit me the same force they hit their child, my eye would have blew up. And, you know, it's unbelievable. But you're here because the spotlight's kind of on you, that maybe you did this.
Yeah.
This happened, what, a couple weeks ago, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the day it happened.
I go to pick him up from a family member's house, and his father went up to grab him and left me downstairs in the car. Coming downstairs, I noticed my son I thought he was sleeping. So his dad sat on my side of the car. He reached in the car to buckle the seatbelt, and I noticed when he reached in the car, I heard my son cry, but it wasn't the cry I know. It wasn't the cry that I felt, the cry I know, he just bumped, or he just fell, he slipped, or no, this cry was, "I'm scared, I'm terrified, don't leave me," cry. So I immediately cut on the lights and I say, "Well, what's going on with him? What's going on? Let me see, what's going on?" And he looked asleep. And he was trying to cry, like he couldn't open his eye. His eye was too swollen for him to open it. So I immediately got mad. I punched my car, I kicked my car door, I tried to go back up and get answers, and I asked questions like, what happened, where was he at, who had him? Everyone stopped answering the phone, they stopped answering the door. I called them, they told me nothing happened there, to do what I had to do, because I said I'm gonna press charges and whoever did this is gonna pay for it. So do what you have to do, hang up in my face. I keep calling, like somebody has to know. I call everybody that was in the house.
Okay. Any chance that the father did this?
No, he was with me. He was with me.
He was with you.
We came to pick him up.
You came to pick him up.
And so when he noticed, he seen his eye, I immediately shoot off. Dad shoots off. But Dad sees that.
He picked him up, right? He went in and got him out of the house?
But he was sleeping. So he said, I wasn't really playing. He said, that's what I asked him. I asked him, did you see his face when you brought him down? It was lights in the hallway.
I mean,
how hard,
even...
How hard is it to see that, right?
I mean, it's not hard at all, right?
It's not.
Even if you pick your child up at night and there's dim lighting, I gotta imagine you pick up a 13-month-old.
That was my argument, Steve.
Yeah.
That was my argument. And he said...
Doesn't that make you suspicious?
It does. It does, with everyone.
Right.
With everyone.
You took your child to the hospital, right?
Yes.
And what did they say?
They said that his injuries were inflicted. They happened on purpose. This wasn't an accident. This wasn't some type of kids playing around or none of this was on purpose. And they asked me, how did it happen?
It's pretty obvious, right?
Right.
I mean, none of us...
It's more than obvious.
You can look at it and say, somebody hurt this child.
And that's what made me so angry. They asked me questions, kept asking me questions.
And what did they tell you what the injury was?
The injury was a fractured orbit on the left side of the eye. So they were giving him drugs to make him, like, not know what's going on, to get, like, vitals and stuff, because he was going crazy when he really woke up.
And this is your first child?
Yes.
So when you see your first child and his injury is horrific,
right?
When you see that, what did you feel?
Immediately, I thought about you.
Me?
I thought about you. Because you would be able to help me. Because I immediately, when I walked in the hospital, could feel the vibe. I seen the doctors. I knew instantly they were questioning me because I didn't know as a parent.
Right. The police must have came and interviewed you, right? They're questioning you. And are you being fully cooperative with them?
Yes, very cooperative. She asked me until I was very cooperative until she said, you know what happened to your son? It was an accident. Immediately, I stopped her. No, ma'am, it was not an accident. The doctor said it was not an accident. It was inflicted. So don't try to switch it around and turn it. No, inflicted. This is on his paperwork.
And your mother is the one who has custody of him. But since this happened, she was ordered not to let you see your child. So when is the last time you saw your child?
I was talking about getting his discharge stuff together. So once we agreed on him going home with my mom, I never knew that when he went home with my mom, I could not see him. I could not be around him. So I stepped out, and by the time I had came back in, it seemed like they had everything in process, in order, because by the time I came back in, my mom and my son was gone. And
I'm going to assume that you're telling the truth. Why in the world would you hit your child like that?
Right.
Why? But then again, why would anybody?
Hit, right.
Again, I've done this show a long time. I was a policeman for 12 years in Chicago. I don't think I've ever seen a worse injury to a child's face than what your grandson has suffered. When you see a child, a baby with that type of injury, what goes through your mind?
Oh my gosh, like who could do something like this to an innocent baby? Can't speak for
itself.
itself.
What could a baby do that would make you so mad that I gotta imagine somebody clenched their fist and punched that child right in the face?
My first instinct, who would do this? Who did it and why?
Yeah.
I just been not
Is it
myself.
possible it's your own daughter?
No, I don't think she would do nothing like that at all.
So you went to the hospital, right?
Immediately.
You walk in, you see your grandson like that, what are you thinking?
I went off. The doctors, the nurses, everybody came out because I was screaming so loud and upset. Who did this to my grandson? Why? Where was he at? What time? I'm asking so many questions. I want answers right now.
You obviously observed your daughter at the hospital. How was she acting?
She was hysterical, and she just was saying, "Mommy, I don't know, I don't know." And to me, I mean, I'm just asking, questions. You don't know, come on now, give me some more answers.
It's hard for anybody on the outside of the situation to comprehend that a mother wouldn't know that the extent of such a horrific injury.
Yes, but she did not know at all.
Before this incident happened, how was your daughter as a mother?
She was a great mother. She was a great mother. She may have sometimes called me with some kind of questions, and I give her answers because she don't know. She's young.
So you're at the hospital, though, and CPS, what do they say to you about the whole custody thing?
Well, they asked me, am I willing to take the road, you know, with my grandson. And I said immediately, yes, bring
Because
my grandson to me right now. I don't want nobody else to take care of him. I know he's going to be in good care if he's with grandma.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I done.
And hopefully if she passes, you know, this happened just 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And
He's
how
still
hard is
healing.
it for the little boy, your grandson, not to be with his mother every day?
And it's very hard. He say, mama, all the time, and I sit there and I cry. I look at him, you know, it hurts. It hurts to see him like that. And I'm the one holding him, trying to console him.
Because
and
he's
let him
wondering
know.
why he can't be with his
Yes,
mother.
and I call her on FaceTime, and he kissed her through the phone. And I tell him, it's gonna be okay.
Okay. Let's find out. Lamadriana came here today, took a lie detector test, and we asked you, did you hit your son in the eye? You answered no. Were you the one who injured your son's eye? You answered no. Have you ever struck your son? I didn't ask you that on the show. Have you ever struck your son?
No.
Have you ever struck your son? You answered no. The results came back all the same, and they came back that Lamadriana told the truth.
I called you, Steve, for help because I watch your show all the time.
Somebody's gonna watch this and say, you know what, she was brave enough to do that, I can do that too. Do you want to tell your story on the Steve Wilkos Show? Visit the link in the description to get my help.